I don't know what the Obex is. I mean, I actually do know what the Obex is, but you will learn what the Obex is. Hey, Albert.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Yes.
Yes, perfectly. Okay. So great to talk to you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I gotta say, your film is weird. Your film is weird. I mean this in the best of ways. I'm gonna show everyone the trailer for your movie, but tell us what led to making this movie. And you didn't just make this movie. I feel like this movie was handcrafted. And by that I mean you're in it.
Yeah.
It's mostly you in the film.
Yeah.
There are other characters that, like, what led you? I'm going to make this whole movie. It's going to star me, and I'm going on an adventure.
Yeah. Well, first off, it's a weird movie. I love weird movies, and
Same.
And I think sometimes I don't know I'm making a weird movie until I make it, and then people tell me it's weird, because in my mind it's just a movie. You know, I understand that it is considered weird or different than other movies, but it just started from like wanting to have fun with my friend Pete, Pete O's, who makes movies just like for the pure joy. He gets a small team together, they go off for 2 weeks and they make a movie. And I said, Pete, you want to come here to Baltimore where I live? And, you know, I've got all this cicada footage from last summer. I've got a dog. I've got my house. Let's just start messing around and see if we can get weird together. And that was the first. We did that for 5 days, and that was the first half of the movie. And then we took a year to edit and kind of figure out what the heck we were doing. And then we filmed the second half of the movie. So that took like 2 years. And then it was another year of editing and special effects. The whole thing was like just 5 years. When you said homemade, it's very like, crafted by hand. I was doing all this special effects. Just, there was no timeline. I could just kind of mess around for months and months, and just for the sheer joy of it. That's what the movie really came about. It was just wanting to have fun.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer, because I want people to see and get a taste of your vision. Let's take a look.
All right.
Hello, my name is Connor Thomas Marsh. I'm 36. I live in Baltimore. I love computer games. This is Sandy. A couple years ago, she just showed up in my backyard and she never left. I saw your ad, Obex. I had such a cool concept, putting real people into games. Can you make it to the end of the maze and defeat the demon Ixaroth before he eats your mortal soul?
I don't know what's going on.
This is Obex.
A truly terrible place. Ixaroth took Sandy.
Well, then I have to go and get her back.
Ixaroth rules over all of Obex.
Tell me, Connor, where are you headed?
Concave's castle.
You chose this life.
Connor!
Do you remember what I told you?
You're gonna get her back. I just know it.
Someday we'll all be living in computers, even dogs.
This film, it's like Lord of the Rings made with the Pixel Vision camera. It's so creative and weird and should inspire other people, I believe. When we first chatted, I don't know how we connected. You were you went to London for a premiere or a screening of it, or you were not available right away?
Yeah, I got back from Glasgow, where it was just playing at the film festival there. Been traveling with it, the festivals and showing it around. But yeah, it's available now. It's out there in the world. You can find it on most of your screens, however you're watching.
And what, like, the process, like, I don't know, was that you grew a beard
Yeah.
and your hair? So that explains like the year gap from the first half of the movie to the second.
Yeah, I've used fake beards before and they look fine, but nothing beats the real thing if you have the time just to let it go. And I'm usually in some sort of growing stage of a beard anyway, so it was just nice to let it go, let my hair go, and know that it was going to show up in the film. And I love making movies this way because you don't have to, there's no deadlines, there's no most film shoots, you have like a little window where you've got the actors and you have to do it all, and if you don't get it, then that's tough luck, that's your movie. If you're lucky, maybe you can have like a do another day a month later or something. But with this, I was, if I needed an insert shot a year later, I could just get it. I could, I could go find my dog in the house and get a close up of her or whatever I needed,
I just have to gush a bit because the movie is so simple. The movie is so simple, and you're this guy, you make money through the mail, turning photos into computer images. It's so, and that early era of Mac, I had an SE30. I loved that computer. Who before that really loved their computer? It was something you had to use, but that thing, what it could do, and the idea, you respond to an ad of like, you can put yourself into a game and that's where things go awry. Plus you love your dog. You have your dog and it's so like, for filmmakers out there, what inspired the story? And then you're like, I'm going to set it in this kind of like early era of tech.
Yeah. Well, the first computer I ever saw was one of those early Macs, the one that's in the movie. Yeah. And, I was 5 years old. I went over to my friend's house and he's like, hey, I got to show you something. And he showed me his family's Mac. And he brought up like Dark Castle. Do you know that game? It was a very early, black and white. And, just watching him play Dark Castle kind of blew my mind. And, when you're making a movie, you get to kind of create the world that you want the movie to exist in. And I don't know, I'm just always drawn to this kind of investigating these old machines, these old techs. They're very much tied in with my own memory, my own life. And with this movie, because there's also these 17-year cicadas that are coming out of the ground, there was only certain years that I could set it in because, I wanted it to be factual, historically accurate in that way. So, they came up in 2021. That's when I filmed them here in Baltimore. 17 years earlier was 2004. And then 17 years earlier was 1987. So it all kind of was like coming together. So I was like, okay, I've got these old computers. I've got these bugs. And yeah, just like interested in what was it like before there was this internet, what was it like to be addicted to your screen, or to be that very first generation of like, you have a home computer and you just love it. And you have your routine of taping things off of, taping movies off of TV and, just mashing all those together. And when you said simple, like, the secret is always to try to find that simple idea. Sometimes when I watch films, like, especially maybe from like first time filmmakers or something, I'm like, they're just trying to do too much. They just think they have to put it all in here. And, there's so many overlapping stories, which, I get it. That's fun and all, but like, there's something nice about just a simple story. It's a guy who is rescuing his dog and goes into a video game, and 90 minutes later you can turn it off and walk outside and have a smile on your face, hopefully.
I had a smile on my face watching this movie the whole time. All the little recording shows, just the interactions. I was really taken with it. And it's an adventure. You have a call to action. we have a lot of questions here, but
I want to know, does that Mac still
sorry.
work? Or
Yeah, well, so that this is a little
is that the original Mac, or is it like a Fat Mac or a SE?
it was an SE, and there's two of them. I got them at a junk shop for like $15 for the two of them.
Okay.
I picked them up so fast, brought them to the counter, paid for them without asking any questions, got them home, plugged them both in. They both did not turn on.
Oh.
And I thought, okay, what can I do? So what I did was I gutted one of them. I took it apart and I slid my iPad in, and it fit perfectly.
Wow.
It, like, you should have seen it. Like, I didn't know if it was going to work. It just went right in. And then what I could do was I could animate all of the Mac screens and then just press play, and it would, I would be kind of acting along to the video.
That is clever.
Yeah.
Let's go to questions from our audience here. New member Steve Z 09 became a new member. Tony Ilias says your room is insanely cool and has such a vibe to it. You clearly have good taste. I see a lot of physical media back there, cassettes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a collector, and I always forget. This is my dresser. Sometimes it's like there's dirty clothes hanging out. I always forget that that's going to be behind me.
You cleaned up for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Tidying
That's
up.
great. That's great. Alan, why don't you take over here?
Yeah, ADLs24. You wore various hats in the project: director, writer, actor, editor, producer. Which discipline did you find the most challenging, and which did you see your skills grow the most in?
Yeah, well, so the first half of the movie, it's just myself and my dog, and that was so easy to do just because that's very much my life. And the acting was just talking to my dog, which isn't even acting. And then for the second half of the film, when we brought in a couple of actors, Callie Hernandez and Frank Mosley, that was the first time when I realized, oh, actually, now I have to like act, and I have to like memorize my lines because I have actors that are like, giving it right back to me. And it was the first time where I was like, oh, this is actually quite difficult. And I have a lot of respect for actors because, it's not always easy. But I kind of stumbled through it and hopefully got through it all right.
Let's see. Caveat ties. I'd ask how you gather your crew, but what crew?
That's right. Yeah. Well, so for the first half, it was just Pete and myself. So there was two of us. And then for the second half, when we brought in, actors, we figured let's have one crew member. So we got our friend Paul. So then Paul became the entire crew with Pete for the second half. But yeah, because we had such a small crew, if you even want to call it that, it just allowed us to be light on our feet to, pivot halfway through the day, or just kind of, see where the day led us instead of, usually on a film, you've got a big crew, you've got to like have a set schedule, you've got to make all of these times and kind of do it. But this film was very much just like, we're just going to hang out and have fun.
Yeah. How did you get your cast? Are they friends, or did you actually get a cast?
Yeah, I knew they're both friends, and I had, seen them here and there at film festivals or traveling. But the one of the best things was Frank and Callie had both done a movie this way with Pete. So they knew what to expect. They knew it wasn't going to be your normal, film set with like a film trailer, or like, this was more of just going to like come to Baltimore for 2 weeks and let's just, play together and get weird.
Yeah. Comments and questions from our audience.
Yes. Dark Hero fan. Retro Care meets Lynch. Retro Core meets Lynch. ADL is 24. How did Oscilloscope's laboratories come to get involved in the distribution? What was the relationship like with them?
Yeah, we were very lucky. They were at the very first screening, the premiere at Sundance, and we had like just a great slot. It was like Saturday night at 8 p.m. and packed house at the Egyptian Theater right on Main Street.
Wow,
yeah. So they saw it. They saw it at its like peak. They saw what it could be with a great audience. So I think if they had come to maybe the second screening or even the third screening at Sundance, maybe it wouldn't have been as hyped. But yeah, they loved it and they understood it. And yeah, it was great. It's been great working with them. They've they put it out into theaters. It played in, all around the US a couple weeks ago in January, February. Now the Blu-ray's coming in the next month or so. It's up on streaming. Yeah, great people at Oscilloscope. Nothing but love for all of them.
Why no VHS release? I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, no. There will be.
Oh, good.
Yeah, on the last call with them, they're talking about all this other stuff, and I'm just like, the only thing I care about is the VHS. And I basically was like, if you all don't want to do it, I'll do it myself. I'll just make copies. But no, they have a person, and they're gonna. I think that'll come after the Blu-ray. That'll be a little bonus. And I have what I really want to do, and maybe this is the first time I'm saying this to anybody besides them, but I really want to do a screening once the VHS comes out where we have a VHS, like digitize the VHS copy, project that, but throughout the movie have commercials from 1987. So as if you're watching the Sunday night movie on ABC, as Connor would have.
I want that copy. I want.
You should make the commercial.
And the VHS tape. You've got to design the packaging like it came out in that era.
Definitely.
Like that era.
Yeah. So this is all the dream, and hopefully, by I think we were maybe looking at August potentially to try to make that happen. So check back in.
Oh, that's great. More.
So no 3.5-inch floppies then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I've got it right here, and
yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It's I don't think anything's on this. I have no way of checking.
We see a lot of indie movies at Film Threat, and a lot of them can be dark and depressing, and yours it's hopeful. It's fun. It's definitely weird, but I mean in a good way, not, so I just want to thank you for that. It's a fun film. It's a call to action. You're going on a quest and an adventure, and your dog is a part of it. And I just want to say how much I really just this is what is possible when you use your imagination. You're sitting in your room. I'm going to make this, and just the world, that 1987 feel, you brought me back to that era. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah. I think we're all dealing with enough in our everyday lives. The world these days outside of our houses is pretty nuts. And, a lot of times at the end of a strange day, I'm just looking to put on something to kind of escape for 90 minutes, or, I've been rewatching a lot of the Miyazaki films just because they make me feel that way too. You just feel good at the end of them. So I always set out to make these kind of I want to make, a dark horror film. And then at some point it just kind of steers back to let's give them a little hope by the end. Let's make them happy.
Yeah.
Yes. Psycho Magnus, Dragon's Lair, and Tron.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've never actually seen Tron, which I've seen clips of it. I'm aware of it, maybe I've caught certain scenes. But Dragon's Lair, that interactive, that's the interactive arcade game, right? Where you've got to hit the button and it never quite works, and you kind of always end up just dying. But still, was beautiful to just watch someone play that. That was really good. So yeah.
I knew one person who could get through it.
Right.
Christopher Moonlight Productions. I just love the spirit of this so much. I want to know what the audience were like, and who saw the screening. It seemed so engaging.
Yeah, we've had great audiences, and I love all the festivals we play at just to hang out afterwards, because inevitably a lot of people come up and talk to you, and I've noticed a kind of a pattern with who's coming up. They're either people my kind of same age who grew up playing these old computer games, or they're young students or early 20s who are growing up in this screen era. And it's the kind of movie I understand 100% that it's not for everybody, but the people that it is for, I think, really respond enthusiastically and want to come up and just nerd out a little bit and ask questions about the VFX and just ask me what my favorite video game is, that kind of stuff. So yeah, audience has been great, and I've loved showing it.
And where did the name Obex come from? Did you just pop into your head?
It popped into my friend's head. So about 20 years ago, my friend sent me an email. He's like, I had a dream last night. You and I were walking in like a post-apocalyptic town, and we picked up a newspaper in like a trash can, and at the top of the newspaper it said Obex. And so I looked it up. I read his email and I looked it up, and the word was Latin for barrier, which I thought was cool. And then it's also another meaning is it's like a part of your brain, very, very deep in your brainstem. So I was like, this word has power. This is like barrier. And it just, when I was trying to think of the name of the game for the movie, all these old games, there was this one Nintendo game I loved called Xexyz, Xexyz, which is just a strange, I love that platformer. But they just had these interesting names with like X's and, the kind of game where you just would hear that name and you're like, I want to play that. So I wanted it to be like something like that, where it's just like Obex. And then the meaning with my friend. And then my friend actually ended up doing the voice of Ixaroth, the demon in the movie, the one who had the dream. So it was kind of nice to come full circle with that.
And also, the fork had been taken. So,
a good final question right here.
From the nerd far away, hail, Mr. Birney. What would you like to do next?
Yeah, well, always have multiple kind of projects in various stages of pre-production and production. And currently, I've been animating this series called Tux and Fanny. It's like this little pixel art people, and I've done 2 feature films with them, and I'm working on the 3rd one now. And it's kind of it's the project I can do just by myself, sitting here at the computer, when all the other bigger projects are in various stages of fundraising or casting. So yeah, Tux and Fanny 3 is what I'm kind of, that might be the next thing. But yeah, there's also dreams of doing a sequel to Obex 17 years after the first one. So it'd take place in 2004. And actually wait, 17 years. So I'm older. And so yeah, check back in. I guess at this point it's going to be about, 14 years from now, but yeah.
You please do that. Call it Obex Legacy. And I'm telling, we just saw a movie you might be aware of called Nirvana, the show, the band, the movie.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
You need to see it. That movie, 17-year gap from when they started to later they finished it.
Incredible.
There's a reason why. Don't look up anything about it. Go see it. The movie's like a magic trick.
Just think Back to the Future 2.
Oh, love it. No, it's I know a little bit about it, and I'm definitely gonna check that out. There's something so beautiful about seeing time pass, like boyhood, and it's just it's incredible. So Obex, Obex Legacy coming in 14 years, and the only thing I need to do is make sure I have to find computers from 2004. That's what I'm gonna start looking for. So those will be.
Oh, yeah. Wait, that'll be in 2040.
Yeah, I guess that's or no, it'll be 2037 because the cicadas were 2021. So if we're doing 17 from there. So the end of the 2030s, somewhere in there. Yeah. But with Obex taking so long, we'll have to start it a couple years before and start piecing it together.
Now, where can people? The movie is out on VOD. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. All the usual spots. And the Blu-ray is available from the Oscilloscope website for pre-order. And that's got a ton of bonus features and deleted scenes and commentary and short films and all the goodies.
Yeah. And the VHS is coming. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, the movie got a great review on Film Threat. I don't know if you saw it, but.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I think
high praise.
Oh, great.
What is it? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's you and your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Film Thread and love what you all are doing, and an honor to be talking to you and honored to get reviewed up there. So thank you.
Congrats again, Albert. Thank you so much. Talk to us in 14 years when the movie comes out.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll see y'all then.
Love it. Have a great rest of your day. Can't wait for the VHS. I'm going to hold out. Cool.
Coming soon.
Take care, Albert. Later.
Take care. Bye.